Opposition parties have seized the opportunity to increase pressure on the government. The Democratic Alliance, Economic Freedom Fighters, and Action SA all released statements demanding full transparency from the presidency. They have called for the immediate release of documents related to state funds, tenders, and offshore accounts currently under investigation. The people deserve the truth, one statement read. No democracy can survive under a cloud of secrecy and corruption. Meanwhile, financial experts caution that even unverified rumors of a presidential arrest can have tangible economic consequences. Investor sentiment is already fragile, and another major political scandal could trigger capital flight or deter foreign investment. For a country already grappling with high unemployment, energy shortages, and inflation, such instability could be disastrous. Within the ANC, the struggle for survival has grown fierce. Leaked WhatsApp exchanges among mid-level officials reveal frantic discussions, some plotting exit strategies in the event Ramaphosa falls, others pleading for unity and patience. One retired ANC stalwart, reflecting on the situation, told reporters, "We've seen this before, rumors, anonymous tapes, betrayal, but this feels different. This time even the loyalists are scared. The house is burning, and no one knows who struck the match." Regardless of whether the alleged arrest warrant exists, the political damage is undeniable. Public confidence in the presidency has eroded further, and with every passing hour that Ramaphosa remains silent, speculation mounts that his grip on power is weakening. Should reports of senior officials fleeing prove accurate, South Africa may be on the verge of a historic political realignment, or even a constitutional crisis. Experts warn that any abrupt leadership vacuum could trigger factional violence within the ANC, potentially spilling into mass protests across the nation. Yet amid the fear and confusion, some view this as a possible turning point, a moment when long-delayed accountability might finally take root after years of entrenched corruption. This could be a reckoning, said one political observer. A chance to clean house, if only the truth comes out. Tonight, South Africa stands divided, between disbelief and dread, between hope for justice and fear of collapse. The streets of Johannesburg pulse with unease as people whisper about who might fall next. Whether the rumors of Ramaphosa's arrest prove true or not, one fact is undeniable: power in South Africa is shifting. The mighty may soon face the law, and those who once felt untouchable now look over their shoulders. Across both the wealthy enclaves and the working-class townships, one emotion unites the nation: fear of what comes next. Johannesburg is alive tonight with an almost electric tension, as rumors of President Cyril Ramaphosa's potential arrest ripple through South Africa's political elite. The atmosphere in the city feels heavy, thick with speculation, gossip, and unease. Streets that usually hum with the rhythm of daily life now echo with harsh conversations, as news of possible high-level detention sends waves of anxiety across the capital. Reports have emerged that several key leaders have either vanished or gone into hiding, fearful that they might be next in what sources are describing as a silent purge within the ruling party. The air is saturated with uncertainty, and the nation stands on the precipice of what could be a seismic shift in its political landscape. The uproar began early this morning when an anonymous audio recording, allegedly captured during a top-level ANC strategy meeting, surfaced online. In the clip, a composed yet clearly uneasy voice, believed to belong to a high-ranking government official, claims that a warrant to arrest President Ramaphosa has already been approved, awaiting only a final signature. The words, calm yet ominous, echoed across the internet: "It's done. We just need the signature. Once it's signed, everything will change." Within hours, the recording went viral. Social media platforms erupted, flooded with hashtags such as #Ramaphosaarrest, #Panic, and #Thepajibans. Millions took to X, Facebook, and TikTok, demanding answers and speculating on who might be orchestrating the alleged operation. By midday, major news networks across South Africa were scrambling to verify the authenticity of the tape. The presidency quickly issued a statement dismissing the recording as a fabrication intended to destabilize the state. Yet the timing of this crisis could hardly have been worse. Just days earlier, a leaked investigative report had implicated several of Ramaphosa's closest allies in multi-billion rand corruption scandals tied to government tenders, particularly in the infrastructure and energy sectors. The coincidence between these revelations and the new audio leak plunged the nation into a deeper crisis of confidence. Security measures around key government buildings in Johannesburg and Pretoria were immediately heightened. Anonymous witnesses reported seeing unmarked vehicles entering official compounds late in the day, their movements hurried and discreet. Inside the corridors of power, fear began to take root. Senior law enforcement officials quietly confirmed that at least 5 prominent ANC members had abruptly fled their homes, some boarding last-minute flights to destinations like Dubai, Mauritius, and Singapore. A top investigator, speaking to reporters on condition of anonymity, admitted, "We've noticed sudden activity from political figures linked to corruption probes. It's not a coincidence. They must know something big is coming." Intelligence services have been monitoring an uptick in communication between certain business magnates and former ministers previously accused of embezzling state funds. The surveillance has reportedly revealed signs of panic as those implicated scramble to protect themselves. Meanwhile, in affluent neighborhoods such as Sandton and Bryanston, long known as enclaves of political and business elites, witnesses observed unusual movements. One resident described a convoy of black SUVs speeding out of an ANC official's property, flanked by armed escorts. "They looked terrified," the witness recalled. "It wasn't the usual arrogance, it was fear." Inside the ANC itself, paranoia is said to be reaching a fever pitch. Meetings of the National Executive Committee have devolved into shouting matches, with members accusing each other of leaks, betrayal, and collusion with investigators. "It's chaos," one NEC member confessed anonymously. "No one knows who to trust anymore. People think their phones are tapped, their allies compromised. Everyone's watching their back." Theories abound within the party. Some insist the story is a calculated attempt by Ramaphosa's political opponents to destroy his reputation before the next elective conference. Others are equally convinced that the recording is authentic and that an arrest may be imminent. As one veteran party insider remarked, "Something is happening behind the scenes. Real or fake, it's working, everyone's rattled." The president himself has remained unusually silent, a move that has only intensified speculation. Aside from a brief written statement from his spokesperson denouncing the rumors as malicious and false, Ramaphosa has made no public appearances since the story broke. This silence has not gone unnoticed. Political analyst Tobit Timber commented that the president's disappearance from public view was ill-advised. "When a head of state vanishes during a crisis, people assume the worst," he explained. "It suggests he's either negotiating for his survival or that something larger is unfolding in the background." Unconfirmed reports suggest that Ramaphosa has been holding private consultations with legal advisors and intelligence chiefs, attempting to assess the scale of the crisis. Some sources claim he's demanding loyalty oaths from senior officials, while others allege he's preparing a sweeping cabinet reshuffle to reassert control. In the streets, however, the mood is turning restless. Protests have erupted outside the union buildings in Pretoria and at Luthuli House in Johannesburg, with crowds demanding transparency and accountability. Demonstrators carry placards reading "No more lies," "Clean up the ANC," and "Step down now." Thus far, the protests have remained largely peaceful, though police presence has increased dramatically. The nation seems suspended between calm and chaos, aware that one spark could ignite something far greater. For ordinary citizens, this unfolding drama feels painfully familiar, another episode in a long saga of corruption, secrecy, and betrayal. Taxi drivers, students, and vendors interviewed by reporters expressed weary skepticism. "We've heard it all before," one university student said. But if this time the arrests are real, maybe justice is finally coming. Economists, meanwhile, warn that the rumor itself, true or not, could further destabilize the already fragile economy. Investor confidence took a noticeable dip as the Johannesburg Stock Exchange faltered, and the rand weakened slightly against the US dollar amid the uncertainty. Behind the scenes, intelligence insiders believe the leak might be part of a broader power struggle within the ANC. One source speculated that a faction aligned with former party leaders could have orchestrated the recording to undermine Ramaphosa before the upcoming conference. Leaks like this aren't random, the insider explained. They're strategic. Someone wanted to see who panics, who stays loyal, and who runs. The implications are staggering, suggesting not merely a scandal but a deliberate attempt to reshape the balance of power at the top of the ruling party.